Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of Thrasher Opera House Presents, our great podcast here from Thrasher. I'm Jason, so glad to be along with you, and so glad to be joined by Chaz Lilly from Second City. Hey, Chaz, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you, Jason?
I'm doing super good. Thanks so much for asking. Do appreciate that. Hey, you're returning to Green Lake. I don't know if it's maybe your first time coming to Green Lake, but it is definitely not Second City's first time coming here. You're coming back for two shows, July 15th. We're really excited.
I think maybe I've been to Green Lake before. Honestly, my grandfather was a big Lombardi fan, so
Okay.
we made a trip to Wisconsin almost every year to come see a Packer game. So I'm from Kentucky. It was like an 11-hour drive,
The
but
Commonwealth.
I think I've been to Green Lake before. I could be wrong. I know I've been to like Oshkosh and Kenosha and all those places, but
Well, you hit the biggest cities in the world right there, man. I
there we
mean,
go. Yeah.
for sure. Let's
Go
talk.
through Kenosha, you know it's happening there.
Yeah.
That's where you need to be. That's the
Uh,
spot.
let's talk a little bit about Chaz, the performer with Second City. How'd you end up with that gig, man? Talk about your background.
Oh yeah, I mean, I originally from Kentucky. I moved to Chicago almost 9 years ago, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew that I knew that I wasn't doing much in Kentucky. I was going to college, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I was like in English and education. Um, Came here. I saw a show at IO at that time that had former Second City performers in
Mhm.
it. And it just kind of blew me away. It was a Katie Rich and Holly Loren. And Katie wrote for SNL for years. Holly does the traveling show, the Chris Talia Tile, the Punch Brothers guy.
Mhm.
That show on NPR. She's a featured performer on there. Um, and I went and saw a Second City show sometime within a couple of months of there, and just it's if you've never been to one, it's a completely different kind of show. It's a completely different style of show. And being from where I was, I just had never seen anything like it. So I signed up for classes and started doing improv and started doing theater. I didn't really have much of a background in either of those things, but just learned through the community and through failure and did a ton of bad shows that you're fortunate that you'll never have to see. And now I get to do it on the professional stage, which is a
Nice.
super fun experience. Yeah.
It's kind of like the dream come true, right? You're just like trying to figure out what you want to do in life, and you just happen to roll into something you really, really enjoy, and then
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was open to finding new things. I think that's part of it. Is, but definitely, it has been.
yeah, absolutely. Well, the whole campus of Second City and just the people that are involved with it, obviously, it's not anything that's new to us here at Thrasher because you guys have been coming here for such a long time. We know what to expect there, but just the pedigree of the talent that is in those walls, and to be able to soak all that in to learn. I mean, can you think of a better place? My goodness.
Yeah, it's intimidating. Honestly, it's I mean, it's intimidating to be on stage with five people that you're like, oh, these are some of the best performers I've ever, you know. I would watch this.
Mhm.
Um, there are times where you find yourself on the sidelines watching the show and going, oh, I got to be in this. I better go take care of my part in the scene. But it is, yeah. I mean, it's you know, you look back on like what it used to do and what it does now and the ways that it has evolved over time, and just the way that like it is a completely different experience to be in a room of people laughing than
Mhm.
to be at home watching a show where that makes you laugh. um just a completely different experience. It's there's a community to it that's hard to describe. It's for the same reason where if you go and see a live band or whoever else, it's a completely different experience than the album experience. It's about the community that's around you that's all participating in the thing that makes it special.
uh, Improv to me is one of the most hilarious parts of any of these shows, right? That comes
Sure,
to it because you just have to be also quick on your feet and things like that. And I
sure.
mean, it's always an empty canvas, a blank canvas for you to take the liberties to talk about it. I mean, you can't teach that, right? I mean, that's just something that's got to grow.
You'd be surprised.
Okay.
I think that most people are scared of having a point of view, or they don't think that their point of view is special, because maybe everybody around them has a similar point of view, or because they're from a place where it's normal to have that point of view or whatever. I think that's what makes it nice to get so many people from so many different backgrounds on the stage together. Our cast is really incredible. I know I've said this twice already, but I'm from Kentucky. We have a cast member from Jamaica. We have a cast member from the south side of Chicago. We have a cast member from Arkansas. One is from Massachusetts, and the other one is from Kansas City. So, you come together with all of these separate points of view, and you find that you have a lot to say, and that if you can learn the sort of the rules of how to say it in a way that honors the audience, then it becomes something that I think that more people would be capable of than they thought possible. Because I know the first day that I went into improv classes, I couldn't have been worse. You would have not thought, oh, this guy's going to one of the stages soon. He's going to be playing with the group of, you wouldn't have thought that. You would have thought, okay, this is day one and the final day of this person's career in improv. So yeah, I think that there is, like, some people have a natural ability to perform. But I think if you get trapped in doing the same things over and over again, that becomes not improv. And if that thing that you do that's so impressive on day one, if you don't work on learning how to do the other things, like showing pathos on stage, then you're not going to be successful, because people are going to figure out your trick really fast.
So you're bringing a new show to Green Lake on July 15th. 2 shows, by the way, 6 o'clock, 8:30. Tickets on sale, ThrasherOperaHouse.com. Comedian Rhapsody. So tell us a little bit about this show.
I'll tell you right now, I didn't name it. Okay, we didn't. But it is a super funny show. It's a great time. It's a mixture of sketch and improv, which, if you've never seen before, again, it is, we have stuff that we've written, we have stuff that we're making up on the spot. And we try to make it pretty clear when one or the other is happening. So you should have a pretty good idea of what is what. But yeah, it's a live show. We're doing it, there's no real safety net to a live show. So you're going to see us going through a series of sketches over 2 acts that I think are very funny and are a great time. And again, there's something about the community aspect of it that if you've never seen a show like it before, you'll remember it. Everybody remembers their first one. For sure, everybody remembers their first one, because it's such an effective form of community comedy.
We're in this beautiful little resort town all the time, and people always come out for these shows, and it's so much fun to have them come to town and in Second City, and just spend, like you said, community laughing with people is an experience that to its own is that kind of melting pot of hilarity, as I'll call it, right? It's
people come from everywhere.
It's something like you've never experienced before, and it's really enlightening.
It truly is such a unique experience. I love live theater. I wasn't raised in a place where that was the norm. I saw I think maybe we drove to Louisville to see Wicked when I was like at a certain age or something like that. So my background with live theater was not that intensive. And then experiencing live comedy like this, where it's not a stand-up delivering jokes at you. It is you watching scenes that kind of feel like realistic places and people. It has this sort of like transportative effect on you. And then by the end, like, you don't even really know who the actors are. You'll see that first sketch and be like, oh, they're this kind of person. And then by the end, you're like, I have no idea who any of these people are, because we get to play so many different characters over the course of the show and represent so many different things that it creates this real, like you feel like you've seen so many different shows and worlds and stuff, and within the span of a couple hours. It's really a cool experience.
Yeah, it sounds like a terrible gig, Chaz. It really sounds like a terrible thing.
Do I sound like I hate it? Is that how I'm coming off?
No, not at all. Coming up July 15th here at Thrasher Opera House, 2 shows. Chaz and Lilly joining us from Second City. Chaz, thanks so much. We look forward to seeing you here in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, Jason. Had a blast.
Yeah, appreciate it.